Control of Congress is once again up for grabs. Both parties are trying everything to get every last voter to the polls on this election day. And ABC's Mireya Villarreal joins me live from South Texas. An ABC News contributor, Sirius XM radio host Mike Muse is here with me in studio with more on the impact Black and Latino voters could have in these midterms. Thank you both for being here. Mireya, Texas hasn't been the main focus of these midterms on a national level, but there are some races there that could have a major impact on the rest of the country. So what races are you watching closely, and how important are Latino voters to those races?
Well, you know, the one that I'm watching most closely here in Texas is obviously the race for governor here in Texas. We have the incumbent, Greg Abbott, running up against Beto O'Rourke, who is from the El Paso area. That's the main one everybody's watching here, and that's what's bringing people out to vote here on election day. But also we're looking at the impact of Latino voters, especially in the South Texas area, because this is predominantly a blue region. It has been known as a blue region because of the Latino voters here. But we are quickly learning over the last 10 years or so, over the last 3 or 4 election cycles, that Latinos are not a monolithic group. They don't always vote the same. And to tell you the truth, a lot of people that we're speaking with here in this region say, listen, the Democratic Party has become a little bit too progressive for us. We are traditional, we are conservative, and we are skewing more red. And so I'm actually watching 3 different U.S. congressional races here in South Texas where 3 Latina women are also up for election.
Interesting. And Mike, we also saw a last-minute push for Black voters in Pennsylvania's high-stakes Senate race. Democratic candidate John Fetterman rallied in Philadelphia last weekend. More than 4 in 10 residents there identify as Black. We also saw Dr. Mehmet Oz, the Republican candidate, pushing things like reducing crime and reducing drug use, again trying to appeal to Black voters there as well. What do you make of this last-minute push from both of these candidates?
Well, the Black vote is so important, and it's more important now than ever than in midterm elections, because a lot of Black voters feel like the Democrats haven't done enough to push forward their agenda, in particular when it comes to voting rights, particularly when it comes to economics, when it comes to small business, when it comes to entrepreneurship, and when it comes to policing. And so there is a sense of apathy that the Democrats have not done enough. And so you see both parties being really aggressive within the city of Philadelphia to make sure their messages are getting across. In particular, for me, Diane, the swing vote that we're not talking enough about is Black men. You see Republicans aggressively courting Black men, particularly when it comes to issues of economics, the economy, and entrepreneurship. You see that happening in Georgia with Governor Kemp, and you see that also, too, taking place in Los Angeles, the mayoral election between Caruso and Bass. And so I think for me, what I'm going to be looking at is the exit polling and to see how did Black men shift and fare when it comes only Pennsylvania, but really Georgia and the state of Los Angeles are going to be key indicators for both parties.
And Mireya, Texas Republican incumbent Governor Greg Abbott has focused a lot of his campaign on immigration and border security. How is that holding up with Latinos in Texas compared to the campaign promises from Democratic candidate Beto O'Rourke?
Well, you know, there's no doubt, obviously, immigration is still at the forefront of a lot of voters' minds, especially here in Texas, as well as around the country, especially after we saw the busing stint happen just a few months ago over the summer as well. But really, as we were talking to Latino voters, especially in the South Texas area, we're looking at the economy being extremely huge to them. They want jobs. They want to know that they're being paid a fair wage here. Education is also big. Healthcare is also big. And surprisingly, also, we've seen a little bit of the discussion of abortion and gun rights, but not at the forefront of what Latino voters are looking for. They want to know that they're raising their families in traditional conservative areas, and also on top of that, that the economy is huge to them, as well as jobs and education. So that's really what voters are looking for when they're going to the polls, not necessarily what party affiliation a lot of these candidates are with.
Interesting. And Mike, this could all come down to Georgia. We're seeing record-breaking early voting numbers there. What do you think is motivating that big turnout?
You know what's interesting is when you see all the election voting restrictions, bills and passages that took place recently, I think there is this energy and that no policy to restrict voting will keep individuals from coming out to vote. And so I think what you're seeing early voting is over eagerness to vote, to say these policies won't stop us from exercising our right to vote. And I think that is really going to be important. What's going to be really important, too, is to really look at the races between Governor Kemp and Stacey Abrams. That that's going to be a really tight contested race. But then it also, too, comes down to Herschel Walker and Senator Warnock in that tight race. It's going to be really interesting. How does Georgia, in particular, independent voters split between Kemp and Abrams, and then also, too, how they look at that ticket between Herschel Walker and Warnock?
Two extremely tight races there, watched very closely. Mike, Maria, thank you both.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.